So you're looking to Exalt the Wizard? Well, good choice, you've come to the right place. Wizard is arguably one of the highest consistent DPS classes in the entire game. I say arguably due to the unmatched existence of Lumiere Sorcerer. The reason why this class is so good to Exalt is because the class isn't reliant on rare drops to be hitting high damage numbers, unlike some other contenders in the top damage department. And even still, some of the DPS UTs for Wizard aren't even that hard to acquire. Look at the Anointed Robe for example. Sure, the item fell out of the spotlight with the introduction of Auric Sanctuary, but it still offers a whole 7 DPS stats to the user. The Wizard has a very high average range, with the ability's range being even bigger, meaning you always have the opportunity to hit bosses without being in close range, unlike the melee classes. Let's talk about the endgame build for Wizards. Okay, so let's start with the staffs. Tier 14 staff is an incredible staff as it offers an absurd amount of DPS. Its shot pattern is consistent and it's relatively easy to hit both shots at all times. When I play Wizard, I carry around 2 swap out staffs. I keep a superior in my inventory for armor broken bosses, and I equip it when the boss dies so I can maximize the amount of fame that's granted upon its death. I also keep a Staff of Extreme Prejudice in my inventory for Auric Sanctuary. It helps a lot with pushing O3's phases when he's mid-resetting or staggered. As an honorary swap out, I do sometimes hold on to a Tezzacotl's Tail as it massively speeds up the clear of golem rooms in Lost Halls, overall speeding up the run. For spells I recommend the Genesis spell and Sporus Spray spell for clearing waves of enemies, and then Tablet or Parasite spell for single target fights such as the Marble Colossus. On my Wizard, I use a Vesture of Duality due to it giving a whopping 20 total attack. Diplomatic Robe is also really good on Wizard, I just prefer Vesture. If you don't have either of these, a tier 15 robe will suffice. For my accessory, I use the Exalted God's Horn. It could be argued that Crown would be better by the DPS monkeys of the world, but having that plus 5 defense on equip reduces the detrimental effect of the Vesture's passive, which reduces your defense by 6. I'd also like to add that once you've hit 4 out of 5 on every stat, you get plus 10% damage on your staff. That is a lot of damage in the long run. I'll put it into perspective for you. For every 1000 damage you deal, that's an extra 100 damage on the side. Unfortunately, it doesn't also apply to abilities, but rightfully so because that would exclude classes without offensive abilities, such as the Trickster. Don't underestimate the damage increase though. If you're 5 out of 5 on dex and attack with also the 10% damage, just look at this DPS increase. I'll be talking about the things to look out for when you're running Exaltation dungeons, and this is all out of my personal experience, so if you don't have problems with these, don't worry about it. MBC survival phase can be slightly problematic at first, but once you get the hang of it, it should be a breeze unless you get hit by a pet stasis or curse rotation. That's when it can get tricky if you start to choke. The Sonic phase of Crystal Worm Mother without slows or stuns almost got me a couple times, but again, once you get to the rotation, it should not be too scary. Of course the entirety of Auric Sanctuary can be dangerous, but here are some things that you need to focus on learning. Crossing Heaven's Beams. I'll quickly explain this to you, alright? So you need to understand where the lightning walls are coming from. The way to tell is that they have 2 different speeds. If they seem quite slow, they're coming from both sides, meaning they're either diverging or converging. If they're going pretty fast, it means they're only coming from one side, such as left to right or right to left. So when you cross it, you're safe until the next wall. Also, inner rotations are bloody terrifying if you pin yourself up to a wall. Make sure you carry a few HP pots as it's very easy to get stack shotted on this phase. In conclusion, Wizard is a phenomenal class to Exalt due to the fantastic amount of damage you can deal. Let me know what you think of this little explanation and what class you want me to do next. I'll probably end up putting a poll up on the community tab of my channel, so please watch out for that. Let me know what you think of this little explanation and what class you want me to do next. I'll probably end up putting a poll up on the community tab of my channel, so please look out for that.